Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the replay analysis series. Today we have a coaching session requested by my friend Doppler, who's fairly new to the game, but he's rising through the ranks quickly. So he's primarily been playing twos, but he's been looking for some threes advice as the rotation's just a slight bit different. So I picked out several plays from a recent game that we can run through here. So let's hop right to it and jump into play number one. So in this one, Doppler goes up for the ball, collects it, lands in the net. You see that the other team has a cherry picker, a guy on the side going to go after this ball. Zebra Taco's right on top of it, so he should collect this ball, and then I'll probably wind up taking out this cherry picker here. But for Doppler, what you need to do is basically hang out in this area, grab a couple pads, and then see what happens over here with Zebra. If he is able to bring this around, then you're ready to receive the pass and score it. If he gives the ball away, then you're just going to continue your path on back to the back. Right? So let's see what happens here. So he looks like I take out the guy, Zebra starts bringing it up. Looks like you're flipping out of the net. Really, you can drive out with the situation that you have here so that you can collect these minis. Then we're coming up. Since he knocked the ball away from himself, he's going to go ahead and get up on the wall and see what happens. And Bogo's basically doing the same thing, but just as a backstop to him, so he's even further back than Zebra Taco is, guarding the ground to where he can quickly go and shadow the play if needed. In this situation, you kind of want to hang out more like over in this area. That way you're covering the other side of the field, so if they happen to bring this ball up and over the net, you're there to guard it. But if they boom it this way and it gets over both of these guys' heads, then you're there coming towards the back post as the third man. Alright, so we're covered either way. So in this case, be patient, hang out over here on the side, don't go over there towards the center. Alright, let's clear all this junk out here. Alright, and moving on along. Alright, so right here, it gets over Zebra Taco with these two guys, so I'm coming in for the play here. I noticed that you're also heading over towards where Bogo's at. So you're heading this way, but what you should be doing is you should be over here and heading back kind of in this direction, because Zebra is going to take your place over here, and you're going to be coming around this way, or guarding the net, depending on what happens with the Bogo challenge over here. All right. Alright, moving on along. So coming over here. So now we've basically got a double commit over here because you floated over here. We're going to be much better covered if you're down here at this point. Alright. Alright, so the play's falling back to the back. Bogo collects the ball again. Zebra's coming around the backside here. And you're coming right down the center at the moment, which is fine. Alright, so here's another thing that I see commonly in new players, is they like to go directly down the center of the net. This is bad for a couple reasons. One, you're not collecting any boost, and two, you're going to run into Zebra, who's coming around this direction. So to stay out of danger and stay out of the way of the play, what you really want to do is take this path here. And then you're going to stop right here and wait. So you're sitting on this back post, you're ready to save the ball, you can cover the whole net from this position, and not only that, you've collected these 3 mini pads, which should give you 36 boost, which is plenty to make any save that you need to make in front of the net. So you can actually just keep collecting those 3 little mini pads there and keep fully prepared to make any saves. You don't have to worry about these corner boosts I see a lot of folks going out for those corner boosts, and that's just going to take you away from the play and make your play so much slower. Right. Alright, final thing here. Now we're breaking out. So Bogo's heading straight out. Zebra, you notice that he's taking this mini pad lane. So when you're coming out here, you can take kind of this mini pad lane and then kind of see what happens here. What we don't want to do is go over here for this boost over here, because when we do that, we're way behind the play and you're going to get too far away, and you're going to have this giant threat gap, which is going to allow the pressure to come off of those guys. So 3s is really a game of pressure, whereas 2s you can kind of play a little more willy-nilly, right? Alright, so that's it in play number 1. Alright, next play number 2. Alright, so here's a common thing that I saw throughout this game, so in this, so I didn't point all of them out, I just grabbed 1 or 2 examples here. But here, as you're coming up here, Zebra's over here on this back post kind of area, so he's going to hang out here as the center man and be ready for a shot. Bogo is currently on the ball, so he's the challenge guy. So what you need to do is expect Bogo to miss the ball. Hopefully he gets it, since he's on your team, but what you really need to do is always expect the worst outcome. So what you want to do is be back here in this area, or if it goes up high, you could even go up the wall a little bit here. But either way, we want to pretty much stay back between, somewhere between the midfield line and then this line of mini pads. And your goal right now is simply to collect boost and be ready to shadow the playback. Your job is to slow down the play if it gets by Bogo, or go challenge if Bogo's already on his way back, if he misses. Right? Okay, so as he comes up here, so Bogo's bringing the ball around and you're creeping in towards him, which is at this point now what we would consider a double commit. Now we have nobody back protecting our net. So this is your job right now, so you should be back here grabbing this boost, hanging out, just seeing what happens. If Bogo loses this ball, you're immediately going for it. If he brings it around, then you're just basically sitting there waiting and watching. If this ball gets cleared into this area here, that is your ball. If it gets cleared or lands anywhere in this area, that's Zebra's ball, right? So as this guy, you're covering this small little zone here, and you're covering our back net, and then everybody else on the front side is on the ball itself. All right. So here, double commit. Now they're off to the races, and it's up to Zebra to basically cover for you. So he's got to get out of the center and then all the way back to your position to be able to cover this. Now, had Bogo lost this and you had been sitting here, then you would have been able to easily challenge this ball, and you'll notice that Bogo made his loop through, looks for a demo, and then heads on back to the back to cover that spot. While Zebra is basically going back and forth here, protecting our net as well as trying to score. And all right. Okay. So moving right along. All right, same thing here. Just came up a little too far. Notice had you been back here in this area, like floating along the back, watching the play, kind of floating across here as it goes, you'd be able to easily collect this ball and take a shot on it, or bring it around, or do whatever you want with it. But you'd be able to collect this ball semi-easily, or even if you're not going to collect it, you're in position to be the shadow man and protect our net, right? So watch with the coming up. If you're the back man, stay back. Stay back because you're going to be able to move forward a lot faster. All right. So here we go. All right. Third play. Okay, so right here, Bogo challenges the ball. When that happens, it's going up the wall. So now this becomes your challenge. So you become the one man in this position. Zebra over here has the path back towards the net, or he could turn it around back this way if he needs to be the shooter as you come around. Bogo's going to be going back towards the net, and your job is to basically keep this ball in the zone, right? So you're either going to sit here on the ground, or it looks like this ball is going to go up the wall. So you could even go up the wall and try and shadow it from up there. If they're going to beat you to the ball, you can always turn back around here and shadow them on the way back if you need to as well. So you're just sitting there, kind of. It's your ball next. You're deciding what you're going to do here. All right. So let's see what happens. Ball goes up the wall. You're kind of doing the hesitating thing, which I see a lot from new guys. So that you're not quite sure what to do. You see this guy on the wall coming at you. But what I would probably do in this instance with the ball coming up here and this guy up here coming this way is he's likely going to knock it. He's going to probably try and take a shot, honestly, or knock it into the corner. He's going one of the two directions. So you can either, with Zebra over here on the side coming back towards the net, I wouldn't worry about the shot on the net because he's probably got it. I would probably go up the wall here. And when you're on the wall, then you can always jump off to try and block it. Or if he tries to knock it down into the corner, you've got the block there, right? Moving forward. Alright, so that's exactly what he does. He knocks it down the wall there. Alright, and you're kind of caught in no man's land there. Alright, next play. So this one is play number 4. Alright, so on this one, it looks like Zebra's on the ball. You're coming around back post, and Bogo... I'm guessing he went for a challenge, and now he's heading back towards the net again. Yeah. So he actually collects a demo here and gets a bump, so to kind of help Taco on his get out while he's still moving on the way back. So anytime that you're heading back, always look for those bumps and demos to try and open up space, right? All right. So he's coming up. You're coming up the side here. I like the movement there. You're taking a good path over here to the side as Zebra's coming up. So he's kind of come around this way or this way, and then you'll notice Bogo's he's heading back, but he's starting to turn around to guard this play. All right, so around it comes. One thing that you'll kind of notice here is this spit-on guy is already up in the air going for this ball, right? What we don't want to do is position ourselves directly underneath the ball. If you do that, you'll never stop it. Look at the direction that he's flying at the ball, and the ball, he's going to hit it whatever direction. So in this case, it's that way. So if you notice what I did is I went this way. So I noticed that you were going up towards the net. So I wasn't quite sure where you were going, but I know the ball's going to the left. So I'm getting out this direction so that I can protect our net or get the ball if it goes over there and lands, right? Right, so that's exactly what happens. He knocks the ball over here. I'm over here and ready. So at this point, So I've covered for you. So at this point, your job is to fall back this direction and cover for me. Because I'm going to go in and I'm going to challenge this ball and try and bring it around to Zebra, who's waiting on the back post. Right, so that's exactly what happens. So I'm bringing it around here. I'm cutting the corner because everyone expects you to go around the corner. So I usually try to cut it inside just to, since everyone sits on this wall, you skip all those guys, and it's a free path directly over here to Zebra, who can take the ball into the net. Right. So here you've now double committed with me, when really, again, we want to be sitting back here at the back, kind of watching and waiting and patrolling the area. Alright, play number 5. Alright, so here, let's see. Looks like we're on defense. So, looks like you're on the ball itself. You're already behind it. So, I'm going to just kind of scooch this play back a little bit. So right here. So if you're already behind the ball and you look to your left and you see 2 players coming down, really what you want to do is, I'm pretty sure you got this boost on the way, which is fine. You either want to take the mini pad lane back, in this case, or grab the big boost and then make your way towards the back. Either way, we're going back post. What we don't want to do is drive through the front of the play. And the reason why is because I'm coming here, cutting it short because I know Zebra's on the back already. Zebra's going to come here to the back, hopefully, and then you will be third man coming behind Zebra. So you're not going to take that wide of a path. You're really going to go more like that. Right. So if you go this way, however, and I'm coming this way, that's going to be a collision. So that's how we run into each other. That's what we're trying to prevent with a proper rotation. So we don't want to drive through the front of the play unless the ball's behind us and we're actually shadowing the ball. Okay? Alright. Alright, so that's kind of exactly what happens. You have to dodge me. I'm kind of waiting to see what you do, so it slows down my movement here. And then another thing that you do here is you drop down right in front of the net. So you came around, dodged me, and then you dropped here. Well, Zebra's already coming around the bend here, and he's moving into this position. So if you ever find yourself on the front, mistakes happen, no big deal. When you go up on the wall, instead of dropping down right here in the front, go ahead and just take it around the top of the net and then wind up back here on the back post and then wait back here on the back side. Right? Alrighty, next play. So this play number 6. Alright, so we're heading on back to the back. Again, same sort of thing here. It was fine to kind of be in that front post area there. But when you're in the front post, once you know that you're not going to get that ball, what we want to do in threes is get out of the way immediately. Because we're going to have guys coming in to cover you there. So you notice Zebra's already around the back. He's coming in to cover for you because he sees that you have missed it. So at that point, you can kind of do the same thing that you did before. If you stayed on the ground, go and wrap yourself around this way, around that mini pad lane. Or you can go over the top of the net if you've got plenty of boost. And either way, you're making your way back post and staying out of the way. You want to loop wide or above. In this case, you could even sit up here on this back wall if you wanted to shadow the play and prevent guys from coming in, because Zebra is going to be making his way out, right? So, a couple options there. But again, don't drop yourself down in front of the front of the net there. Alright, so here we're going back the other way. Bogo's on the ball. Zebra's going to sit here on the front post, hopefully. And your job is to cover the back post. Zebra might even get up here on the wall to protect our backboard. But either way, your job is simply to sit back here on the back, which is not what you do. So you start to come out here and go towards the center. So if you position yourself over here, that leaves this whole side of the net wide open. There's no way for you to stop all of your momentum, do a half flip, and get back if there's ever a shot coming through, right? So when you're back here in threes, patience is key. Hang out right there on that back post. Alright, so this is another little thing that you can correct. I'm just going to back this up just a little bit. Alright, so right here, we're coming out. This is fine. Really, when you're breaking out, this movement is fine. You're on the mini pad lane, kind of watching what Bogo does. Right here, when it comes out, when this gets knocked over to the side, so this ball's heading out over here, you can really just abort and go to the back post. Because you still, you as the number 2 man, you can challenge this ball immediately if you want, or you can go back. And really, if it were me, I'd probably challenge this ball and let Zebra stay back, as Bogo is going to flip back this direction anyways. So it kind of gives you the ability to go get the ball and try and either shadow this ball around the back or go that kind of direction. But once it gets knocked out here, there's a guy behind you, so leave that ball there. What we don't want to do is, I call it turning back on the ball. So you're basically making a challenge where you have your challenge guy coming out at it. What you really want to do is, if the ball gets by you in threes, always go back post. If at all you're ever lost, go back post. You'll be safe. Right? Right, next play. Alright, I'm coming up the side. You're on the left. Zebra's going down the side here. I mean, this is really good positioning so far. So Zebra's going to cover this area. I'm going to try and bring the ball around, and then you're supposed to hang out over here, right? So that's exactly what's supposed to happen here. And again, so this is just another example of the same thing. So instead of hanging out back here in this area, we've moved our way up into here, and now we're wide open in the back. So, simple fix. Alright, and then right here we've got the same kind of problem here. So if you're ever, I guess, first on this ball over here, abort. Don't turn back on this ball. Both of you turned back on this ball, so you've got a double commit in this area. Whoever's in behind the other person, you're third man. So your job is to get back post, let somebody else grab that ball. Really, Bogo could get this ball pretty easily as he's coming out of the net. With both of you turning up, that'll put Bogo coming up into the no man's land, and then he'll have to abort, and if they get a shot on that ball, then it's likely going to be a goal. Alright? Looks like exactly what happens. Alright, so alright, next play. This one looks like Bogo's got the back post here. You're challenging the ball. Zebra's coming back around towards the back. Yep, so again, right here, so you challenged the ball, you didn't get it. At that point in threes, your job is to go back post. So right here, instead of turning around again while Bogo's coming out at the ball, you're going to cause a double commit there. So any time that you basically don't get possession of the ball on your challenge, you're aborting and going back post. And if you always abort and go back post, you'll make your whole team faster because the next guy will always go. So if there's always somebody going and always somebody moving around to the back post, you're going to keep that rotation going and you're going to be much, much faster as a team. Alright, and then another example of going through the front of the play, and notice you almost run into Zebra Taco as he's coming out of the net there. So again, loop around wide, get to the back post. Alright, next play. Alright, on this one you challenge, and looks like a somewhat successful challenge. Bogo's coming out of the net, Zebra's kind of hanging out in the back seeing what's happening. So you'll notice here what's happening. So since I'm coming out, I know that I'm third man, so my job is to get behind Zebra. Zebra's job is to get the ball. So he's coming up, you notice he's coming this way, and you notice my pathing is grabbing mini pads on my way back towards the net. And then your job is going to be to either get behind me, or if Zebra gets this ball, then your job is to hang out here as the center man. Right? Great movement there. Oh, well. Yep. That's exactly what you want to do there. So, a good play there. You start to turn back around, but you see that they're going to basically get the ball, so then you start going back again. So, that's exactly what we want to do is, you know, if we need to, we come back, but if it doesn't work out, then we keep going back. So, good job there. The only thing I would say on that play, so you notice you don't get behind Bogo when you go back. So when you go back, you have to get behind all of the other players because if you don't know, or if there's somebody behind you, that's the person that's going for the ball. Your job, if you're going back, is to get to behind the other two players. Make sure that you can see the other two players in front of you before you ever turn back around, right? Right, and that leads to a very dangerous play, but doesn't look like they score. Alright, looks like this one's an offensive play. Zebra's on the ball, you're going down the center. Okay, this is a little positioning thing that I wanted to point out here. So when you're the center man, we don't want to be anywhere in this area. Your job as center man is to hang out in this area. This is your zone. Bogo is going to be hanging out back here, and he's got all of this. So he's covering basically this little cone here. You over here are covering everything over here. And Zebra's bringing the ball around. And then if we need to abort, we can do so, right? Right. So see what happens here. So Bogo kind of gets lost because he doesn't know what you're doing. So he just kind of floats into the center just in case to cover for you. So he's either going to go up here to cover for you, but he also knows that you're not covering back and you've double committed. So he's kind of up here in no man's land, so he can't even really get a good fast shot. So you kind of left him in no man's land. And not only that, you've got a collision situation over here with Zebra because you're in the wrong area. So the key to this, hang out over here. All right, and it looks like I just completely abort the play and just go back. Alright, and I actually want to point this out here as well. When we're coming back here, so this is really a zebra thing, but if he's coming back, again, you got to get behind all the players on the team. So notice I'm back, he's up here, which is fine, but when he starts coming back, so he's going back, so I think he's going back. I think he's going to get behind me. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to challenge this ball. But what he does is he comes over, and I like to call this side swiping. So he comes over here, and now we've got a double commit with me going for the ball and him going for the ball. But really, he needs to get behind me, and then he's going to be up next. So just wanted to point that out since it's on the screen here as we're kind of floating along. No side swiping. Alright, next play. Alright, in this case you're on the ball. Good job. Pressuring. Alright, Alright, so the thing here is, after that pressure is over, we're immediately going back. You're now third. So now Zebra's on the ball, and then I'm guarding back, but I'm going to be next on the ball. And I need you behind me for protection. Okay? Right, so right over here. Alright, same thing. So you it looks like that you recognize that you need to be back post here, but you take an awkward route at it. So if you take your mini pad lane around here, you're not going to need to spin, you're going to be faster, and you're going to be more boost charged. So if you're coming back to the back post, make sure you're at least grabbing those 3 minis. If there's already somebody sitting here, that's the time that you can grab the big boost and then come sit behind them, because by the time you grab the big boost, they'll hopefully be on out of there, right? Alright, right here, looks like Zebra's in the net. I'm coming up. Oh, this is just another example of you coming up too high. I captured this one just to highlight the fact that usually when you come up to a place where another challenge player is, that causes collisions, which is exactly what happens here. And not only that, now they're off to the races taking a shot on our net with nobody back. Alright, so I'm coming out here. You notice that Zero is like going down this kind of area, kind of cherry picking. Your job here, what I would do, you cut this early, and what we don't know what's going to happen, kind of like what I was mentioning before, is Bogo is coming up on this guy. And if this guy challenges and wins, and you're already coming up, then he's got this wide open net back here, right? So what we want to do is basically assume the worst. So instead of turning here, what I would do is probably, if you need some boost, grab this and make your way around this way, or go straight back. You could come this way, or you could come right down here, grab a couple minis, and hang out here. Either way, you want to be on one of the posts here, and then once Bogo gets around this challenge, then that's when we break out. Alright, so they knock it around, and now we're chasing the play a little bit. So again, you're behind the ball, so you're running through the play, and Zebra's going to come through here and try and get the ball. If you're already on it, then he's going to get stuck with no momentum here on the front post. And really what we want to do is keep our momentum going. So if you had, instead of chasing that ball around, after it gets by you, just abort and go back post, right? Make sure you collect your minis on the way. You know, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. 36 boost, you're on the back post, you're ready for the next play. Zebra's on the ball, and I'm coming back behind you. Right, instead, double commit. Zebra's out. Off we go. Alright, and that's it. So, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you next time.